of course, the quarterback situation is always going to get a lot of attention and pub. And, you know, you have come on here and made a number of predictions that turned out to be exactly dead on, whether that was, mid-season talking about Georgia running the table and winning the rest of their regular season games, whether that was talking about there not being a much of a talent comparison between Georgia and Michigan and predicting that game and so forth. And you were pretty much in the same boat, and correct me if I'm wrong, about the quarterback situation and wanting a higher caliber player than Stetson Bennett. But to your delight and everybody else there in Dog Nation, Stetson Bennett proved up to the challenge and really was a gamer there in the fourth quarter when they were down with about 5 or 6 minutes left, and put together a touchdown drive that will go down in Georgia history, of course.
Absolutely.
So do you just think that he's got to be the starter and there's just no way around it, or the quarterback room is so loaded with Stockton and Beck and Vandegrift that those guys should be given a shot?
I think those guys are going to get their shot. But here's things that you have to acknowledge, whether you like to or not. You got to admit, Stetson Bennett put together a heck of a drive. That last drive reminded me of the JT Daniels drive where we went down and won the game against Cincinnati. And so, best drive that he probably had all season. Everything was right the way it was supposed to be. It was the most amount of pressure you could possibly be under. Not only was it late, I won't say late in the game, but it was later in the game. And he'd already had a call that was controversial that went against him. And he really could have folded up shop, and he could have let his emotions get the better of him. But Stetson Bennett's a fighter, and he's tough. He's really, really tough, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And those are X factors in quarterbacks that are intangibles. If you've got those in a quarterback, you've really got something. So, do I expect him to win the Heisman? No, but Georgia proved last year you don't have to have a Heisman winner to do that, to win. Now, from all accounts, what we've heard from Kirby Smart in the offseason and some of the spring practices and some of the scrimmages, his words, and I don't know how much of this is coach speak, but Stetson Bennett is playing the best football he's ever played. I said, okay, well, I guess they're not looking to change quarterbacks. At least Kirby Smart's not. So as hard as a lot of Georgia fans are on Stetson Bennett, I think you have to give him credit where credit's due. He went out there. He did what needed to be done when it needed to be done in the most critical moments of the game, and you can't take that away from him. And here's what a lot of Georgia fans do. They give a ton of credit to Keely Ringo for that interception and touchdown, as you should. But even without that touchdown, Georgia was still winning. So if the defense goes out there and they get a stop, not just an interception, but a stop, Georgia wins that game, and they would have won that game on the arm of Stetson Bennett. So when you're looking at guys like Carson Beck, who's been there a long time, a lot of people are asking, why is Carson Beck still there? Why is Carson Beck hanging around? Carson Beck is great at football, and I think he's trying to do what Stetson Bennett done, which was hang around Georgia for so long that eventually they got to play you. When you've got guys like Vandegrift and you got Gunnar Stockton, not too much worried about Gunnar Stockton trying to play this year because he's a great guy, outstanding player, but he's a true freshman. Vandegrift, I think, is going to be the future of UGA. I don't know where Carson Beck is going to fit into this equation. We keep getting kind of conflicting reports. Sometimes it's saying that Carson Beck had a great practice, but Vandegrift threw like 3 interceptions, or in the spring game, both of them threw an interception and neither one of them got a touchdown. And, they were playing with the twos or something like that. So it's so hard to tell. But we're always going to be critical at the quarterback position. It's a vital position at UGA. I do think experience matters a ton. And I think that at this time, it's Stetson Bennett's job to lose this position if he wants to lose it. I don't see how he would. The Kirby Smart Company tend to be almost to the point of annoyance pretty loyal to whatever quarterback they put in. They will let him play the whole game. There were times whenever as fans, we really thought they should have switched out a quarterback in a game, but they didn't. So I think Georgia fans are just going to have to accept the fact that Stetson Bennett, against maybe the consensus, is the quarterback, and he probably should be. Not just because he won the national championship, but because of the experience he has and how well he does under pressure. We don't know what we're going to get out of these other guys. So it's better the devil you know, right?